Typically species, that's the number one factor. Walnut's on the very upper end of that. Oak would be on the bottom side of that. Size is another one. Single slabs obviously cost more than multiple boards, glue ups. It usually goes single slab is the most expensive, then a book match set. And then if it's multiple boards glued together, that'd be the cheaper way to go. Those are easier to cut, easier to dry, easier to handle, easier to flatten. It really depends. Like the way we do our pricing, so when somebody buys a live edge slab for us, it's usually the cost of the slab plus 20% for all the machining, for flattening and sanding. There's not too many things that pop up in that process really, other than finding embedded material, and we usually don't tack on anything for that. If we hit a nail or something with our wood whiz, we will dig that out prior to going to the sander at no extra cost. We also have people bring us live edge slabs that they've either cut themselves or came from their family farm and their grandpa had it for 20 years, and we're more than happy to help those people out. The number one thing that we run into there that they don't understand is their wood's usually not dry. Sometimes they bought wood online where somebody told them it was kiln dried, but the first thing that we always do before we ever touch a customer's wood is we moisture test it. Because even if it's been sitting for 10 years and it's been sitting outside under an awning, that doesn't mean it's dry. Even old 100-year-old barnwood in some instances has to be dried, or at a bare minimum it has to be sterilized. It has to be put into the kiln to make sure there isn't any insects living in it. That is one thing that definitely adds cost to the customer if we have to dry it for them, because then we have to figure out a place in our drying cycle to get it in the kiln and dry it correctly. It's not that different, but you'd be surprised. It usually ends up costing about the same, if not a little more, because when you're doing this for a living and you're cutting slabs and you're stickering them properly, you're stacking them properly, that lumber will come out straighter. It'll come out straighter, it'll come out with less defect. Not always, but sometimes when customers bring us their wood, they've just been dead packed without stickers, sitting in a barn. Sometimes they're moldy, they're almost always really twisted. Once that lumber gets twisted, there's not a lot you can do for it. You could steam it and try to get some of the twist out, but then again, you're just adding more cost. You're adding more labor, you're adding more time.